Hello guys, here with my puppy, little Miss Brinley. She's like, Mom, what are you doing? She just turned 12 in May. She's my ride or die. She's just gonna take a little nap as I talk to you guys. So I just wanted to jump on here to first off, say thank you so much for all the love and support. It's kind of scary posting that video. I've always been very open. I'm a very open person, but it's kind of scary to have the whole world potentially be able to see it, and where there's so much judgment in the world right now. It's just, I'm one person that this Sinclair method has worked for, and I have just had such an amazing experience on it that I'm hoping doing these videos just helps even one person. I'm a very real person. I'm gonna make mistakes. I do make mistakes, and throughout this journey, I just want to kind of post my experiences, and if it helps you, amazing. If not, then it's not for you, and that's totally fine. Everyone's so different. But I just wanted to jump on here and kind of go into depth a little bit more on my journey, and kind of share some experiences that I've had while on Naltrexone. And again, for everyone, it's going to be so different. I'm just a human, just trying to figure out what works best for me. And this is what I feel has been working best for me. So let me know if it's working for you, maybe what you're going through, or just join me on my journey. Anyways, okay, so today I'm looking at my planner here, and I am at 49 days since I've been on this Naltrexone and working with the Sinclair method. I have my planner here, and it shows July 21st is when I had my day one, where I took my first pill of Naltrexone. So going back a little bit, I would probably say like the last, I'm 31, maybe the last 10 years is where it's alcohol and me have just started to have a toxic relationship. It really is almost like dating, because it's like you remember such the good times of like the parties and friends getting together and not giving a care in the world, where I'm not like an uptight person, but I'm definitely a perfectionist. I care a lot what other people think. And so for me, partying was like, I was able to let loose and enjoy. And I had just noticed the last couple of years, it was becoming worse and worse. It wasn't so much fun anymore, and it was getting scary, and it was getting to the point where I was using it as a crutch. And so I touched on it a little in my last video, but I would say July 1st was kind of my rock bottom for me. You can see in my past planners, like I have tried over and over again where I'm like, hey, day one, and then I'll last like a week, and then I start drinking again. Or day one, and I last a couple of months, and I'm back drinking again. And because it's like, I didn't feel like I had a problem. I don't think anyone ever feels like they have a problem when you're going through that. I just knew that the way that me and alcohol were handling things wasn't like how it used to be. And so I would say, July 1st, 2020 was kind of my rock bottom day. all these things were just kind of popping up in my life. I was sad because my mom has passed away. My dad's doing so good. I should be so happy. But something that my counselor and I had talked about was I have always been the caretaker of everyone. And so this is the first time in my life where I can be selfish and I can do whatever I want to do. And I just don't know how to comprehend that. And so I just didn't know how to handle it. And I used alcohol as a crutch for everything. I mean, that's what I was surrounded with. And so I noticed that I started using it in ways that I wanted it to be almost like a cure for me. So I was just struggling at my job. I wasn't loving it as much. It was getting harder and harder and a little more micromanaged, and I could just feel it changing. And I noticed me coming home and drinking every single night, and it would turn into where I'm like crying all night in my bed in the bathtub, maybe texting like some guys, sometimes making bad choices of having guys come over and hooking up, or doing whatever. And then I pay the consequences of the next couple of days just feeling like absolute shit. And it was just a cycle of having alcohol in every single aspect of my life, and something would happen. And it was like, pre-gaming before a concert, going to a concert, meeting a guy, making stupid choices, and making stupid choices throughout the night, or like, having too many drinks at a coworker's house, and then I end up getting pulled over and having to go through that whole process of court, and luckily not getting a DUI, but it was definitely close. And it just makes you do really, really stupid things, and it's like embarrassing and it's hard to talk about, but I feel like other people have gone through this too. And so that's why I'm trying to be as open as I can be in this. But I also do really care what other people think. So it's hard for me to be this open and honest. But anyways, so July 21st, day one of taking Naltrexone. And before that, it's not just taking this. You have to really want it, and you have to really work on yourself. And so sorry, I'm a little all over the place, but back to July 1st is when I hit my rock bottom for myself. And I was in the hospital June 31st. Just drank way too much. I had just gone to a friend's funeral. I had to see my ex-boyfriend along with a lot of friends that I didn't feel like I fit in anymore. And it was just very uncomfortable for me. And it was a family that I loved for a really long time. And it was just uncomfortable. And so I just ended up drinking so much that night, and I was so miserable with my job, and I was so mad that I got cheated on again, and that this guy lied to me. Like, the lies that he said were insane, and I just lost it. And so I drank so much, and my neighbor came down to check on me, and my heart was racing, and I just didn't feel good. And so I ended up having to be taken in the ambulance to Alta View Hospital here in Utah. And within that moment, it was like so embarrassing to me, because I am conscious through this. I'm super drunk and out of it, but I'm conscious enough to be like, oh my gosh, what am I doing, Justine? Like, you're turning into your mom. My mom was so depressed and just, was always in and out of the hospital. And so this was my all-time low. And so I'm in the hospital, and I had the most amazing doctor, the most amazing nurse. They gave me just a bunch of vitamins and water, and got me back to feeling good. And so I had to go into work the next day. Well, I had to text my aunt, which was very embarrassing because I look up to her a lot, and she came to pick me up, slept it off as much as I could, went to work the next day, and my boss just had a very real conversation with me where he was like, Justine, this isn't like you. Like, you're coming into work, you don't look like yourself, you look haggard most of the time. Like, are you drinking on the job? Are you drinking before you come to work? What's going on? And I thought that I was hiding it well enough. And I was like, and honestly, no, I had never drinking before the job, anything like that. I definitely was drinking the night before and was extremely hungover going into work, which is not like me. I just was so depressed that I didn't really care anymore. But my job is my everything. I worked so hard to get where I was at, and I just couldn't do it anymore. And so, lucky enough, my job really supports mental disabilities and that kind of stuff. And so I was able to take some time off. And this is where I was like, Justine, you have to get your fucking shit together. What are you doing? You're miserable. And I think you get stuck in this life where you have a full-time job. I'm making more money than I thought that I ever would. And I have everything that I want. I have an amazing apartment. I have a dog. I have my car. And I'm miserable. And I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I'm in this vicious cycle where if I go home and I drink tonight, it's going to turn into me texting some guy, him coming over to comfort me, and this whole vicious circle is going to happen again. So it's done. And I think that's where you really have to get to, is you have to get to that spot where you're like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. So I got on a short-term disability leave, and this was, I'm looking at my calendar over here. So this was Wednesday, July 1st, and I have always wanted to do a solo trip. So I called my dad and I was like, will you watch Brinley, my dog? Booked a trip to Portland. And I was like, I gotta get out of here. And he's like, what the heck? And I'm like, yeah, I've always wanted to do a solo trip. I feel like it's what I need to do. I know that there's options of AA. I know there's options of rehab, but I personally feel like it's deeper than that. It's not just alcohol. And so it was the best decision that I had ever made. I think you really just have to listen to yourself and what you want in this life, and to not give a fuck what other people say. Like, listen to your goddamn self. And so I packed my bags and I drove to Boise Saturday night, stayed there Sunday night, and I'll post a video because it was so beautiful and it was so amazing. But I booked an Airbnb, so drove in Sunday, and I tell you what, I've always been an independent person, but this vacation, it pushes you out of your comfort zone. Like, it's just me, and thank God for GPS. So trying to like navigate to find my Airbnb, and it's like turn left, turn right, turn left, turn right, because everything's so tight. Yeah, and so I get to Oregon, and it was just so beautiful. And I did a lot of hiking. I did some reading. I listened to a bunch of podcasts, motivational videos, Joe Rogan, just searching like motivational videos on YouTube, doing some meditation, going on a bunch of hikes, just really kind of getting back to myself. And it was exactly what I needed. I was like, this is what I want in my life. I want to be able to travel more. I want to do more solo trips. I want to be happy with my life. And I want to make other people happy. Being able to talk with all of these strangers in Oregon was just amazing, and being able to connect with people and kind of hear their stories. It just brought me so much life back. And then coming back, I just really threw myself into hiking and surrounding myself around good people. I kind of stayed away from the party scene, and thankfully we're in a pandemic where the bars weren't open or anything, but I would have found a way. And so I really made it a conscious effort to surround myself around really good people. Like, I took everything, and this was my last shot. I was like, I've got to change everything in my life if I want to be happier. And how quickly it happened was amazing. So I did my first solo trip, went on hikes with my dad. Me and him have the most amazing relationship now. I'm very much a homebody, I would say. I don't really go out too much anymore. And so I made it a conscious effort to, meet more people that I wanted to surround myself with. So my upstairs neighbor, me and her are really close, and we kind of got this girl group together where we all have our dogs and we're all single. And so we've gotten together and done like barbecues and stuff like that. And they're just so positive, and we uplift each other, and no one's talking behind each other's backs. And so yeah, that's kind of been my process. And then throughout like August, I've been taking because it's a learning curve. And so for me, I don't know when I'm going to drink. So it's so hard for me to be like, oh, take a pill an hour before you have a drink. Like, I never knew. And so I've been taking Naltrexone every single day. For me, it's working right now, where I can notice a difference that I can have a drink and I don't have to keep going, which is so not like me. And so then the question may be like, well, just quit. Like, it's easy, just quit. And this is what I want to address, is because you can't just quit. Like, for me, this has been a lifestyle. Like, it's fun to me. And I remember those good times. And so it's an addiction. Like, you learn to lean on it for everything. So I can't just give it up. So that's why nothing else was working, because when I give it up, I feel like I'm missing out, and my personality can't handle that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if other people feel that. But it's how I am. So this is why it works so well for me, where right now, and it may change, I'm still trying to figure it out. I still, like, if I know I'm going to have a drink, I'll take it an hour before. And I do feel like it affects me a little bit differently. But right now I'm taking it every single day. For me, I notice that I'm not craving it, where I can actually have a couple of drinks in my fridge and I'm not drinking all of it. Like, I've had some of these wine cans in my fridge for a couple of weeks, and I've only had a couple. And it just doesn't even make me feel good anymore. It's that comfort of, I just need a drink. Like, I had such a freaking bad day the other day. I was so annoyed having to do interview after interview, and I was like, I just want a drink, because that's what your mind does. And so I had one, and I was like, oh, like, the taste, I don't even enjoy the taste anymore, which is crazy to me, just crazy. And it made me feel like just, ugh, like the thought of like taking it down. And so I tried to drink it because I was like, I just want to feel relaxed. And it made me almost feel anxious. And like I did feel an effect of it, which is really weird to have like an effect right after one drink. And like I said, this is just my experience, but I didn't like it. I don't enjoy it anymore. Where before, it was like I wouldn't get a feeling until I was so many drinks deep, and then all of a sudden it's like, bam, you feel it, and then you keep going. For me, it's been absolutely crazy that I don't crave it anymore, and I don't want to have more than one drink. And this again is where it's like I've had questions of, well, then if you don't enjoy it, then just stop. But it's like I do. I like the aspect of having a drink with a friend, or if I have a hard day, I want to have that drink. I'm still learning how to shut off that part of my brain where I don't need to have it anymore because it's such a crutch to me. And personally, I can see where I'm not dependent on it as much as I was. It could be my lifestyle as well. It's a lot less drama. I am a very chill person now. I made it such an effort to surround myself around very good people that only uplift me and make me want to be a better person. Where I hang out with my dad all of the time because we're in the same podcast, motivation, meditation, yoga, all of that kind of stuff. Working out is a huge thing to me. I have to work out. I try to work out every day, but I am still going through depression where I'll wake up and I'll have days where I'm like, I just want to sleep and I don't want to get out of bed. That's okay. Like, you have to learn to be okay with yourself. You have to give yourself a shot. You can only push yourself as much as you can, but you have to be so proud of yourself. And that's where I'm at. To be able to look at like my journey of, starting Naltrexone on July 21st and to do my first solo trip, to gain the most amazing friendships within my apartment, with this amazing like girl group that we have going on, to going on a trip with my dad to Durango, Colorado in August, and to going back into work on August 24th and being shitless scared and quitting my job because I was so miserable and it's such a toxic environment. And it was the last toxic thing that I needed to do to get out of my life. And it's scary. I mean, I'm living off of my credit card. I have my own apartment, but I'm dedicated. I've had some interviews and I just am working so hard on myself and to be a better person and to help other people. I'm not dating. And I say that so proudly because I feel like my whole life I've always wanted to be loved, and I have used men as a crutch as well. And since my last ex, I jumped on the online dating scene for a minute, hung out with a couple of guys that were really cool. But to be able to not want to date and to be so happy with myself and my journey and to be so happy with just hanging out with myself feels amazing. Anyways, I just wanted to share a little bit of my experience from July to now. So July, August, September. So 49 days since I've been taking Naltrexone. This is what it looks like. I think that's probably backwards. So hold on. I'll post it. But it's 50 milligrams. This is generic, so it's called Revia tabs. But it's Naltrexone HSL tabs, 50 milligrams. Still taking it every day. It's working for me. How I know it's working, because July, August, September, 49 days. That's the longest that I've ever had a really successful stay away from alcohol. Yes, I am still drinking on it, but I haven't had a binge. And that's the difference, because so many times before I've tried different things and then I'll have a binge and then I'll end up texting people saying that I want to kill myself and that I'm not happy, and I end up in the hospital, or I end up having people come over and check on me. And so I know that this is working, and I'm so grateful, because everything else that I have tried has not worked. And I tell you, you have to want it, and you have to also want to change your life. I am working on myself every single day, but I love it. I love to be able to wake up and I choose a video on YouTube of a motivational morning inspiration video, and I listen to that to get my day going. And I will make myself a cup of coffee and a healthy breakfast, and I will hit the gym to get my endorphins going. And then right now I'm job searching, and then I'll do like some meditation. I watch a ton of podcasts. I'm reading some good books, which I can post the books that I'm reading, but I'm really kind of educating myself on the Sinclair method, on what other people have gone through, on meditation, on yoga, on crystals, on readings, and all of that kind of stuff to just better myself. I just feel like such a happier person. I just want everyone to enjoy life and to know that, like, it fucking sucks and it's so tough, and you go through some bullshit that really freaking sucks, and it feels like everything happens at once. I mean, look at 2020. We got freaking earthquakes left and right here in Utah, and then the pandemic, and then that racism is still going on, and the presidential debate. Like, it fucking sucks right now. And like I said, if I can just help one person to get through this life feeling better, that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm posting this shit. Gonna be really real, gonna be really honest. This may be for you, this may not be for you. But anyways, I know I rambled a lot throughout this video, but I think that it was good because I want you guys to know that I am going through this journey as well. I'm still on a process. It's very new, but it's unreal how amazing I feel, and how when you start to change your life for the better and you really put in the work and the effort, how much changes around you. Can you hear Brindley? She's snoring. Anyways, thank you so much to everyone that watches this, and for not judging, and for just, wanting to make your life better. And I hope that I can bring some happiness, and I will just keep you guys posted throughout my journey. I'm definitely gonna have some crappy days, and I also have some good days. Today's a really good day, but I set my alarm for 8 a.m. and I was like, I'm gonna get up and work out, and I honestly snoozed until like 12:30. And I felt really guilty, but it felt really good to get some sleep. And then I did end up making a really good breakfast and working out. So, it's baby steps, but, maybe I'll post some videos too when I'm struggling. Those are a little bit harder to post. But I think it would be good for you guys to just kind of see, like, I'm a human as well. But I'm going to be very real. I'm going to be very raw and honest with you guys. Any questions that you have, please let me know. And advice too, because I'm going through this as well. I love you guys. I hope you have a good Labor Day. And we will just keep on keeping on.